You have voiced a sense of hopelessness about reaching the wokies. David Fuller of Rebel Wisdom says he's focusing on having this conversation without triggering the immune response. I want to suggest that we take cues from Benjamin Boyce, especially in his recent episode with the Jungian. I don't know, I'm not familiar with that episode, but obviously we're familiar with Benjamin Boyce and with David Fuller at Rebel Wisdom, and that's the question.
Let's put it this way. The experience of trying to reach the truly woke is not a positive one, because even to the extent that you can reach an individual, it doesn't last. It's not durable because they return to whatever milieu it is that caused the wokeness in the first place, and it gets undone.
Although there's maybe a little seed planted.
Oh, believe me, I'm a big fan of the planting the seed that can germinate later, but there's also a campaign to eradicate those seeds. So,
sure.
The fact, though, is, or maybe this is actually just the point you were just making. We have started to hear, often it comes in the form of an apology, which I must say, I don't think I need. But people have started to contact us and say, I got it wrong. I thought it was just college campuses. I thought you were exaggerating. Now I see, right?
Mm-hmm. In the wake of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't need an apology, especially if you're a big enough person to recognize that you were wrong and actually say it to somebody that you think you may have discounted. That's a big thing, and that's all that's necessary from my perspective. What I would ask beyond that is, okay, now that you've seen it, find your courage, because you're going to need it, right? Mm-hmm. And with respect to the woke, it's not one level of wokeness, right? There are people who are rescuable, and the fact is, to the extent that we start bringing people over to the side of reason, then we have greater leverage to access people who are more deeply ensconced. And so I do think most of the people involved in this movement are not aware of what they have signed up with.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And I found just in the last couple of days, I had interactions with some people who I know in a business relationship with, like a structural integration therapist and a hairdresser, and someone else, I can't remember. So people who I have iterative relationships with, I will see them again. I enjoy them very much, but I don't know them well. They don't know me well. And it's easier, especially for women on average, to just let the conversation go. And when someone says something that you disagree with, to not disagree, especially right now, right? Especially given that we are all being expected to adopt the new gods, and not doing so on my part, with these people who I had already chosen to interact with on the basis that they are reasonable and honorable and not completely ideological, was still not the easiest thing in the world, but absolutely 100% worth doing. And I would say that everyone can do at least that.
Yeah, it's
everyone
rewarding.
Can do at least that when you hear someone say something in what sounds like knee-jerk support of, say, a movement or an organization that you don't think is what it appears, giving a little nudge in the direction of what you think can be the thing necessary to change people's minds, and just to open them up to the possibility that what they've been told isn't the full truth, and maybe is not any of the truth, in fact.
So what I've said a number of times is that there's actually a thing you can train yourself to do, which is very rewarding, which is when you have an unbridgeable gap, figure out whether or not you can cross it. In other words, there are some gaps you probably can't cross, but you can practice the skill, and the gaps you can cross get bigger and bigger, and it's very rewarding when you get across them. So if we all took that approach, we might do much better.